New York Giants go on the road in search of win number 1 this week. They're hoping to find it in Cleveland, which won't be easy against that Browns defense.
Lawrence needs to get rid of it. Can't. Safety. Alex Wright.
Browns evened their record up at 1-1. You can make the argument their D could lead them to 2-1 based on their play the opening 2 weeks, as well as the Giants being unable to score 20 in either of their games.
On 4th and 4, Jones throws incomplete. He was open. Neighbors through his hands.
There were some silver linings to the G-Men's latest loss. Browns secondary is taking on a Daniel Jones that comes off a solid outing at least. G-Men were 3-3 in the red zone, 4 for 8 on third down. Jones put up a 100 rate, 2 touchdowns, no picks.
Jones tosses into the end zone. Touchdown Giants, Wandale Robinson.
178 yards and less than 7 yards per attempt, so not like eye-popping. Just better than what we've seen from him recently. And welcome to the show, Malik Neighbors. 127 yards and a TD, and it was a real beaut, Clark.
Pulls the trigger. Touchdown Giants, Malik Neighbors. Hauls it into the end zone.
18 of DJ's 28 throws were to Neighbors, second most on the team, 4. Will that work against Cleveland's secondary? Neighbors will battle 3 good to great corners. Martin Emerson, Denzel Ward showed out last week. Browns held Trevor Lawrence to a low 70s rate, 14 of 30 passing, no TD passes.
Denzel Ward nearly had the interception as he powered through Gabe Davis around midfield.
Cornerback Greg Newsome gave up 76 yards last week, but it was a Matrix-like catch. Jones was only sacked once by Washington. That's an Ice Cube day if you're Jones or that O-line. Commanders don't have anyone like Myles Garrett, though. Browns bagged T-Law 4 times, pressured him over 40% of his dropbacks. That's Cheech and Chong high.
Lawrence hits! Myles Garrett does it again!
Browns' rush defense was their weak spot last week. 4 yards per carry allowed to Travis Etienne, let Lawrence get loose for 45, gave up 6 a carry overall, touchdown over 125 yards.
Etienne, space, first down, inside the 40.
So maybe the Giants load up on the run. Jones can scamper, and Devin Singletary went for 95 yards last week, 5.9 a carry and a TD.
Singletary slipping some tackles into the end zone, and that's a Giants touchdown.
Giants lost their kicker in that Washington game, so they had to go for 2 all game long. That wasn't good. Might have scratched out more than 18 points and a win. Their defense didn't allow a single TD, stopped Washington in the red zone all 6 times.
Eckler is not going to get it. And again, the red zone defense of the Giants. Brian Burns, part of that this time, keeping them out of the end zone.
And it's not like they're taking on a hot offense this week or quarterback. Deshaun Watson under 190 yards passing last week, just 5.5 yards per attempt, a sub-80 rate.
Amari Cooper, he's close, but ruled initially shy.
Amari Cooper comes in icy, not talking about his bling. 16 yards on 9 targets week 1, 11 yards last week on 8 targets.
Watson slams Cooper the target, it's incomplete.
He remains a threat, though. Slot guy Elijah Moore, 8 targets as well last week, 44 yards. Jerry Jeudy, their leader guy, 5 catches over 70 yards.
Off balance, throw to the sidelines. Jeudy bobbles and catches in bounds and has the first down.
Giants did just face a guy with a similar skill set as Watson. Would you call it a mixed bag? Great in the red zone, no TDs allowed to the rookie QB. Held Terry McLaurin to 22 yards on 8 targets.
Knocked away at the last moment. Coverage good. McLaurin was the target.
They also allowed Jaden Daniels to go for close to 8 yards per attempt, and he was 23 of 29 against them, a rating near 100. But they get another pass rush showing like they did, and they could be in business. Buried Daniels 5 times, Jason Pinnock blitzing his way to 2.
Jason Pinnock got to him eventually, but he is not easy to bring down.
Watson, prone to getting dropped. He took 2 last week after taking 6 the week before. He likes to run at times, and he scored on the ground versus Jacksonville, just 20 yards. Deontay Foreman led the team with 14 carries, 42 yards. Jerome Ford just 7 runs, 64 yards, over 9 a carry.
Jerome Ford down the sidelines, finally knocked out.
Giants rush D they face gave up a big game to Aaron Jones in Week 1. Didn't fare better against Brian Robinson in Week 2. Over 130 yards allowed, almost 8 a carry. Austin Eckler went for almost 5 a run. New York gave up over 210 yards on 6.1 a carry last week.
Eckler has the football, and he's near another Washington first down.
Browns 28, 22, and 2 versus the Giants all time. Let's hop in with Mr. Peabody. Go back to 1985 for an underrated classic. New York's Joe Morris scores 3 times, 131 yards rushing, and it wasn't enough. Cleveland scores 14 in the fourth quarter to win 35-33. Ernest Biner with the finishing touch.
Biner up the middle to the 5. Biner with room. He scores! Ernie Biner, a touchdown! The Browns take the lead.
They had the right play call, and they caught the Giants napping.
The clock has expired, and the Browns win it